The Zach Andrews story is a rags to riches tale which proves that in sports, as in life, it is not how you start the game, it's how you finish. Andrews was born in poverty in Oakland and was raised in various foster homes in Rancho Cordova. But this challenging start in life did not prevent this 2003 grad from achieving academic excellence both at Cordova High and Bradley University before going on to a pro career in the NBA. Equally impressive, Andrews has been an advocate for Sacramento area homeless. He has spoken ardently about his own childhood of couch surfing in seeking shelter from friends, relatives, and yes, sometimes Cordova High teachers during his teenage years. After an inspiring high school basketball and football career, Andrews continued his education at Yuba Community College. In 2004, he was an all-conference selection and led the Chiefs to the Elite Eight of the California Community College Athletic Association State Tournament. The following year, his slam dunk of an alley-oop pass over a defender made the ESPN SportsCenter Top 10 Plays highlight reel for 2005. The following season, Andrews helped Bradley advance to the NCAA Sweet 16. Andrews' pro career has taken him to Italy, Spain, Turkey, and Japan, earning All-League Second Team or Honorable Mention in each of those seasons. He played 2 seasons with the Los Angeles Defenders and Iowa Energy of the NBA Developmental League and was acquired for a stint with the Los Angeles Lakers. In a bit of notable basketball trivia, Andrews has served as a body double for NBA superstar LeBron James. For Zach Andrews, the season never ends. He continues to pursue his professional basketball dream, signing recently to play in Tokyo. In today's world of athletic specialties, it is difficult to imagine how one player could be a standout in 4 sports, but that is certainly true of 1977 graduate Brian Bailey. Considered to be one of the greatest all-round athletes ever to roam the hallowed hallways of Cordova High School, Bailey excelled in wrestling, football, swimming, and track before heading off to Cal Berkeley. During his freshman year, Bailey stepped onto the mat as a heavyweight competitor and became an automatic star. As a sophomore, Bailey was part of the legendary 1975 Cordova High School football team, rated number 1 in California and among the best in the country. Brian Bailey is listed as number 40 on the Sacramento Bee's list of 100 best Sacramento area football players of all time. A defensive lineman at 6'3" and 235 pounds, he played from 1975 to 76 and was a 2-time All-City selection. As the Sacramento Bee so aptly stated, Bailey was a leader of the line that overwhelmed teams in their heyday. As a highly drafted athlete, Bailey was a 4-year starter at Cal and winner of the 1979 Brick Muller Award bestowed upon Cal's most valuable lineman. He was honored by the Grid of Sacramento as the recipient of the Henry J. Bates Memorial Award, identifying Big Brian Bailey as the outstanding senior football athlete from Northern California. For a generation that knew him as Jerry Bates, Jerry Bottas is the highly respected and beloved Rancho Cordova football coach credited with helping shape Cordova High School's storied football legacy. An outstanding school athlete out of Birmingham, Alabama, Jerry played baseball for 2 years before hitting his stride in track and field. He was an Alabama state champion in the hurdles and the best athlete at Ramsey High School. Jerry was offered a scholarship in both track and football, but chose instead to join the Navy and see the world. He underwent intense naval training in radar and then set sail. Following a tour to the China Sea, Jerry trained and became one of the Navy's original frogmen, a precursor to the famed Navy SEALs. He served with a special team of 8 assigned to a submarine, performing underwater demolition activities during the Vietnam War. Student teaching took him to Cordova High School, and the rest, as they say, is history. During 3 years as JV football coach, Jerry's teams went 25-1-1. The loss and the tie? Coaching errors, he would later say. Jerry was the defensive coach of the famed 1975 Cordova High School football team, then moved on to become defensive coach at Sierra College, and then eventually teaching positions down in Stockton. Few coaches are remembered as reverently as this man, who guided hundreds of young lives both on and off the field. Even today, the coach remains humble. His motto is this: better athletes, better people. Good athletes and good students, he says, help to make better coaches and teachers. I may not have made a better athlete or person, but the athletes and students helped to make me a better coach and teacher. After retiring in 2000, he and his wife bought property up in Fort Bragg, for years his favorite corner of the world, and in true Coach Jerry Bates style, they moved there the very next day. A beloved Mills Junior High PE teacher and football coach, the late Joe Brown was an inspiration to countless young student athletes in Rancho Cordova. As a student, he played football and competed in track and field by throwing the javelin for Gillespie, Illinois High School. He continued playing football for the University of Illinois for 4 years, graduating in 1938. But it's what this man did after college that is truly remarkable. He served as a second lieutenant in the U.S. Army. After being called up for active duty in 1940 for the Army Air Corps, Brown served in England during World War II as a fighter pilot, flying 32 missions and earning a Distinguished Flying Cross and the Purple Heart, accomplishments of a true American hero. Brown continued serving in the Air Force and eventually retired in 1961 to live in Rancho Cordova with his wife. Brown took this distinguished background to the fields at Mills Junior High, where he served as head football coach for 9 seasons, sharing a remarkable life that helped mold young Rancho Cordova athletes. His famous annual divorcing his wife in August and remarrying her in November preseason speeches were legendary. Brown posted an amazing record of 46 wins, 6 defeats, and 2 ties, and led the Mustangs to numerous Delta League titles. Later, Coach Brown served as a spotter in the announcer's booth for the Cordova Lancers home football games, and in 1997, Brown was inducted into the Cordova Wall of Fame. He recalled that receiving a Cordova coach's jacket was one of the proudest moments at Cordova High School. In 2005, Coach Brown passed away, ending an absolutely astonishing life. He is remembered as a strong and fair man who rewarded hardworking athletes, laying the foundation upon which a remarkable football dynasty was built. Coach Joe Brown is survived by his daughter Carol and his son-in-law Ken, 2 grandchildren, 5 great-grandchildren, and a million memories cherished by the young men he helped shape at Mills Junior High School.